Welcome back to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases. Really great to have you with us for this deep dive.
And hello from me too. Yeah, today's session, it's a bit special. We've pulled it right from a SpeakDuo lesson.
That's right. And look, if you're serious about meeting new people, from all over the world and really want to boost your English speaking confidence, you should definitely check out SpeakDuo.com. It's just a fantastic place to practice English on video calls. Helps you get way more comfortable.
Yeah, it's a great resource. We really think so.
So let's just jump straight into it. Today we're breaking down a set of, really valuable phrases. They're aimed at advanced English learners like you looking to expand their vocabulary and, get a better handle on those subtle meanings.
Exactly. These aren't just words. Think of them as tools, really, for communicating with more precision, more power.
Okay, first up, to be sucked into something.
Right. So at its heart, this phrase basically means getting totally absorbed, like fully engaged in something, often when you didn't even mean to.
Yeah, that feeling when you start something casually and then whoosh, hours have just gone.
Totally. We've all been there.
And I bet people wonder, okay, how is this really different from just saying to get engrossed in something or maybe to get caught up in something? They sound pretty similar.
That's a really good point because the difference is subtle but important. Sucked into carries this feeling of an unintentional, almost like a helpless pull,
Ah, okay.
It's perfect for those times you lose yourself, maybe not entirely by choice, but because the thing itself is just so magnetic, irresistible almost. You were just drawn in.
That makes sense. So engrossed feels more intentional, like you decided to focus hard on that book or project.
Exactly. A deeper chosen focus.
Yeah.
And caught up, that often implies being involved because of circumstances, like getting caught up in traffic. Definitely not intentional and usually not enjoyable either.
Right. So for work example.
Yeah, imagine saying, wow, our team got completely sucked into debugging that complex software issue last night. We didn't even realize it was past midnight till security showed up. See, it captures that unplanned intensity.
Perfect. Or say for an IELTS question like, have you ever been sucked into a hobby unexpectedly? You could say something like,
oh, definitely. During lockdown, I got absolutely sucked into these online data science courses. And now it's something I'm actually thinking about pursuing professionally. Shows that unexpected, compelling start.
okay, clear. Let's move on to melt away.
This one's quite evocative. It describes something gradually disappearing or passing, particularly time or often emotions. Like, think of stress just vanishing.
So again, how does it stand apart from similar ideas like to fade away or maybe to vanish?
Good question. The real nuance with melt away is its feeling of a gentle, often quite pleasant disappearance. It works beautifully for negative feelings, nerves, anxiety just easing off.
Like a relief?
Exactly. Or when time just slips by effortlessly because you're having fun. The source example nails it. Once the concert started, all my nerves just melted away. There's that sense of relief.
Right. Whereas fade away can feel more neutral, maybe a bit sad, like old photos fading, and vanish. That's usually sudden, complete, poof, gone.
Precisely. Melt away is softer, more gradual, often positive, that gentle release.
So in a work context,
Yeah.
talking to your boss maybe.
You could say something like, once the client actually saw the prototype, all their initial skepticism about the new design, it just seemed to melt away. Conveys that smooth, positive shift.
Nice. And for IELTS,
Maybe.
when did hours last melt away for you?
You could answer, oh, just last weekend I started painting a landscape, and honestly, before I knew it, 3 hours had completely melted away. It was just wonderfully absorbing. Captures that effortless flow of time.
Great example.
Okay.
Next up. To overrule something sounds quite forceful.
It definitely carries a sense of authority. Yeah. Basically, it means to dominate or use authority to set aside a previous decision, action, or even a desire. One thing takes priority over another.
So what's the specific difference between overrule and, say, override or contradict? They all seem to involve saying no to something.
Right, but overrule specifically points to a stronger influence, maybe logic, or a higher authority, or just a stronger feeling taking clear precedence. It often suggests a hierarchy or maybe an internal battle where one side definitely wins.
Ah, so there's a sense of finality.
Exactly, a definitive triumph. Like the example, her desire to sleep was overruled by her excitement. Excitement was stronger, it won. Simple as that.
Okay, And override might be more technical, like a system override,
Mhm.
or just canceling something out.
Yeah, often more technical or neutral. And contradict is really just about stating the opposite, more of a verbal thing. Overrule feels like the decisive action that changes the outcome.
Got it. So in a work situation,
You might hear, well, the CEO's vision for aggressive expansion, it effectively overruled the board's initial recommendation for a more cautious strategy. Clear hierarchy, clear decision.
makes sense. And for IELTS, maybe a question like, when did logic overrule your instinct?
Yeah, you could say, definitely. My instinct was just to grab the first job offer I got. But logic, after researching the company culture and thinking long term, logic overruled that instinct and I held out for a better fit. Shows that internal balancing act.
Okay, on to our next phrase. To reset one's sensitivity to something. This feels very relevant today, doesn't it?
It really does. This phrase means intentionally adjusting how strongly you react to something. It's like recalibrating your response level.
So is it just a more complex way to say desensitize yourself or maybe get used to something?
Yeah.
What's the subtle difference?
The key thing with reset sensitivity is that it implies an intentional, often temporary adjustment. You're doing it on purpose, maybe to reduce feeling overwhelmed or to regain a more balanced appreciation for something.
Like bringing it back to a healthier baseline.
Exactly. The sugar example from the source is perfect. After a week without sugar, he reset his sensitivity to sweetness. Now, smaller amounts taste sweet again. It's a conscious recalibration.
Right, whereas desensitize can feel more permanent, maybe even negative, like losing feeling. And get
Aw.
used to is often just passive adaptation, right? Like getting used to noise outside.
Precisely. No active reset involved there.
So in a work context, maybe after a crazy project.
You might say, phew, after that intense project, I really need a quiet weekend just to reset my sensitivity to constant emails and notifications. It's about actively seeking that mental recharge.
Makes sense. And
Okay.
for an IELTS question, maybe, have you tried to reset your sensitivity to tech or social media?
Good one, you could say. Absolutely. I actually did a digital detox for a week last year. It really helped reset my sensitivity to social media. Now, honestly, even just 10 minutes on Instagram feels like a lot, which I think is probably a good thing. Shows that deliberate shift.
Okay, phrase number 5. To drop the bar. I'm picturing a high jumper lowering the bar.
That image is spot on, yeah. It means reducing the standard or the expectation for something, intentionally making the required level lower.
But isn't that just like saying lower expectations or make something easier? Where's the specific meaning?
The unique thing about drop the bar is that it refers to lowering the actual standard itself, not just your personal hope for the outcome. It can be positive, making something more achievable, less stressful, more fun even.
Mhm.
Or, yeah, it can be negative, implying lower quality is okay now.
So it's about adjusting the benchmark.
Exactly, adjusting the metric you're measuring against. The example about entertainment is great. If we drop the bar for entertainment, even reading a book becomes fun again. You're not expecting a Hollywood blockbuster, so simple pleasures are enough.
Right. Lower expectations feels more personal about my anticipation. The thing itself hasn't necessarily changed standard.
Correct. And make it easier is just general, could mean anything. Drop the bar is specifically about that standard.
So in a work meeting, discussing deadlines.
You might hear, look, to hit the end of quarter deadline, maybe we need to drop the bar slightly on those non-critical features. Focus purely on core functionality for now. It's a strategic adjustment of standards.
Clear. And for IELTS, maybe, where have you dropped the bar to enjoy life more?
You could say, well, I've tried to drop the bar for my daily workouts. Instead of pushing for these intense hour-long sessions every single day, I now just aim for 20 minutes. And honestly, I actually enjoy them much more now, finding joy by easing the pressure.
I liked that. Okay, next, an idiom that feels calming. Let things simmer.
Yes, it's a lovely phrase. It means allowing thoughts or emotions or maybe a tense situation to just settle down gradually, giving it space and time, not jumping in immediately.
Sounds a bit like mulling something over, or maybe sleeping on it. What's the unique feel of simmer?
The distinctiveness of let things simmer lies in suggesting you allow things, especially intense feelings or conflicts, to naturally cool down or develop without jumping in impulsively. It implies patience, waiting for clarity, like letting soup gently cool on the stove.
Less active than mulling.
Exactly. The example captures it. After the argument, I let things simmer before responding, waiting for the heat to dissipate.
Right. Mull over is active thinking, weighing options. Sleep on it is specifically about delaying a decision overnight. Simmer feels more passive, letting things settle naturally.
Precisely. So at work, after maybe a tense meeting,
Yeah,
you might say to a colleague, look, given the tension in there, I think it's probably best we let things simmer for an hour or so before we try hashing out a resolution. It's a wise approach to de-escalate.
good advice.
Mm-hmm.
And for IELTS, perhaps? Do you react fast or let things simmer?
You could respond, well, I've definitely learned it's usually better to let things simmer. When I react too quickly, I often end up saying something I regret later. So, yeah, I prefer to give it some thought. Shows maturity, right?
Definitely. Okay, phrase 7. To have one's way. This sounds like determination.
It absolutely does, yeah. It means getting what you want, often even if there's opposition or resistance. It's about your will prevailing.
So how is having your way different from just getting your wish, or maybe winning the argument?
The key power of to have one's way is that it strongly implies achieving your goal through persistence, maybe influence, or just by overcoming disagreement. It suggests a triumph of will, often against odds.
So implies a bit of a struggle.
Often, yes. Or at least overcoming resistance. The example is stark. The child cried until she had her way. It shows that power dynamic, one side getting the desired outcome.
Right, getting your wish could just be luck, passive, and winning an argument is just the talking part, not necessarily the outcome.
Exactly. Having your way is about the result matching your intention despite any pushback.
Okay, in a professional setting.
You might hear something like, yeah, despite quite a bit of pushback from marketing, the CEO had his way in the end, and the product launched with the original branding. Shows determination and authority making the final call.
Got it. And for an IELTS question, maybe, have you had to negotiate hard to have your way?
You could say, oh, absolutely. In my last job, I really had to push hard for my design concept for a new app, presented it multiple times, faced questions, but eventually I had my way and they adopted it. Shows perseverance leading to success.
Great. Now for something a bit more philosophical, perhaps.
Yeah.
To inhabit the in-between.
It is quite poetic, isn't it? Yeah, this phrase means being mentally present during those small, often idle moments in the day, instead of just automatically filling them with distractions.
Embracing the gaps.
Exactly. Embracing quiet awareness in those little pauses.
Okay, but this sounds quite close to being mindful or practicing presence. What makes inhabiting the in-between distinct?
I think the key is its specificity. It really zeroes in on those transitional, often overlooked moments, waiting in line, walking between places, the commute.
The little bits of dead time.
Right, but instead of dead time, it's about filling these brief, unstructured periods with conscious awareness. Rather than reaching for the phone reflexively, it's about choosing presence in those micro moments. The example highlights this. Mindfulness teaches us to inhabit the in-between instead of reaching for our phones.
So general mindfulness is broader, can apply anytime. This is specifically for those interstitial moments.
That's a great word for it, yeah. Those little gaps we usually just rush through or fill up. It's a conscious choice to be there.
So in a busy workday.
You might find it helpful, like saying, during a hectic day, just taking 5 minutes to inhabit the in-between, like while waiting for a big file to load, really helps clear my head. It's a mini reset.
Nice. And for IELTS, how do you inhabit the in-between moments?
You could answer, well, I try to inhabit the in-between, maybe on my commute, by just looking out the window or noticing my breath instead of immediately scrolling through my phone. It's actually a really good way to kind of recenter myself.
I like that idea. Okay, last phrase before the quiz. To be attuned to something.
Right. This suggests a really deep, sensitive awareness or responsiveness. It's like being finely tuned in, almost like an antenna picking up subtle signals.
So more than just being aware of something
Yeah.
or sensitive to something. What's the core difference?
Definitely more. The unique strength of attuned to is that it implies a deep, intuitive, often finely calibrated awareness. Especially with subtle things like nuances or people's emotions, it suggests an empathy, a harmonious connection.
So it's not just knowing, it's feeling or sensing.
Exactly. And it's different from sensitive to, which can sometimes mean being easily affected or even overreacting. Attuned to implies a precise, balanced understanding. The example works well. He's very attuned to his employees' emotions. He doesn't just know they have emotions. He understands the subtle shifts.
Right. Aware of is just factual knowledge. Sensitive to could be negative, like sensitive to criticism. Attuned to feels more positive, more connected.
Precisely. A harmonious understanding.
So in a professional role, say, sales.
You'd absolutely say. A really successful sales manager needs to be highly attuned to client needs and also to shifts in the market. They pick up on subtle cues and adapt quickly.
Makes perfect sense. And for an IELTS question, maybe, are you more attuned to words or body language?
You could share something like, I'd probably say I'm more attuned to people's body language. I often notice, when someone's energy shifts or there's a tiny sign of discomfort, even if their words are saying everything's fine, highlights that deeper level of observation.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Okay, ready for a quick check? It's quiz time. Let's see how much of this advanced vocabulary has stuck from our deep dive.
okay, let's do it. We'll go through a few questions, listen to the options, and yeah, feel free to pause the deep dive if you need a little moment to think.
All right, question 1. What does it mean to be sucked into something? Option A, to be forced to complete an unwanted task. Option B, to become deeply involved without planning to. Option C, to feel limited by a repetitive environment.
Feel free to pause here if you need to think about the answer.
And the correct answer is option B, to become deeply involved without planning to.
Yep, remember getting sucked into that documentary and losing all track of time? That's the feeling.
Question 2, if something melts away, what typically happens? Option A, it slowly disappears or fades over time. Option B, it becomes more intense with repetition. Option C, it increases until it's too much to handle.
Go ahead and pause if you need a moment.
Okay, the correct answer is option A. It slowly disappears or fades over time.
Just like those nerves melting away once the concert started, that gentle disappearance.
Question 3. What does it mean to overrule something? Option A. To reconsider a decision after further review. Option B. To override a previous desire or action. Option C. To reject feedback and proceed with caution.
Take a second to pause if you like.
The correct answer here is option B. To override a previous desire or action.
Right. Think back to how excitement could overrule the need for sleep. One thing winning out over another.
Question 4. What does it mean to reset your sensitivity to something? Option A. To forget how you used to react emotionally. Option B. To strengthen your immune response to it. Option C. To lower how intensely you respond to it.
Feel free to pause and think it through.
And the answer is option C. To lower how intensely you respond to it.
Exactly, like resetting sensitivity to sweetness after cutting out sugar for a while, recalibrating.
Question 5. To drop the bar in a routine means what? Option A. To reduce your standards to make progress easier. Option B. To improve performance by exceeding expectations. Option C. To choose goals that are more measurable.
Pause here if you need to decide.
The correct answer is option A. To reduce your standards to make progress easier.
Yeah, remember dropping the bar for entertainment, so even simple things like reading feel enjoyable again, adjusting the standard.
Question 6. What does it mean to let things simmer? Option A. To reflect before reacting emotionally. Option B. To ignore details that feel unimportant. Option C. To react quickly to calm the situation.
Take a moment if you need it. Pause now.
Okay, the correct answer is option A. To reflect before reacting emotionally.
Just like letting things simmer after an argument before you respond, giving it time to cool down.
Question 7. If someone has their way, what has happened? Option A. They've avoided conflict at all costs. Option B. They've achieved what they wanted despite resistance. Option C. They've influenced others through silence.
Feel free to hit pause.
All right, the answer is option B. They've achieved what they wanted despite resistance.
Remember the child who cried until she had her way, getting the desired outcome even with opposition.
And finally, question 8. What does it mean to inhabit the in-between? Option A. To feel torn between two serious decisions. Option B. To escape from routine by multitasking. Option C. To occupy unstructured moments mindfully.
Last chance to pause and think.
The correct answer is option C. To occupy unstructured moments mindfully.
Yes. That idea of choosing to inhabit the in-between moments instead of automatically reaching for your phone, being present in the gaps.
Nicely done, everyone. Hope you're feeling a bit more comfortable with those fantastic advanced English phrases after that. That was quite a deep dive, wasn't it?
Absolutely. These phrases, they really are valuable for adding that extra layer of depth and precision to your English. Helps you express those nuanced ideas much more effectively.
And just a reminder, all the insights, all these phrases from today's deep dive, they came straight from a SpeakDuo lesson. So keep the practice going. Connect with people all over the world by visiting SpeakDuo.com.
Yeah, it's honestly such a great platform. You meet new people, you actually use the English you're learning, and that's how you build real fluency and confidence.
And check out SpeakDuo Premium too. the basic plan, just $10 a month for unlimited practice, or go pro for $18 a month. You get the unlimited sessions plus AI feedback to really pinpoint areas for improvement. And hey, there's a 30% discount if you sign up for a 6-month plan. Worth checking out. Sign up today. Start speaking with more confidence.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive today, if you found it helpful, we'd be so grateful if you could leave us a 5-star review. It genuinely helps other learners find the show.
Yeah, it really does. And hey, if you're really enthusiastic about SpeakDuo, look into their ambassador program. You can actually earn something while sharing it with your friends or your community. So let's leave you with a final thought. What does all this really mean for you? As you go about your day, think about this. How could using just one of these new phrases consciously, or even just reflecting on its specific nuance, help you communicate more precisely, more powerfully in English?
Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and most importantly, keep practicing. Your language journey never really ends, and every new phrase you master, it just brings you one step closer to real fluency. Keep at it. Keep learning. Keep speaking.